I know I've owed this video to you guys for a while. I've had this Benelli M4 for a long time, and I just have never gotten around to doing a video on it because so many people have done videos on it, but you guys keep asking. Time for me to deliver. Merry Christmas, motherfuckers. Benelli M4, 500 round, Burndown. Let's go. The good old TFBTV 500 round shotgun Burndown. This staple of the channel originated appropriately with Clint Smith. A couple of years ago, I took my first ever dedicated shotgun course with him, and that's when I learned that shotguns are really hardcore, as Clint famously says about a 12 gauge shotgun.
It's very simple. I'm telling you right now, at 5 yards, if you shoot a guy in the face with a loaded number 6 bird shot, you will dick him up. Just some thoughts. Well, you grabbed the muzzle and I pulled the trigger. Well, if he's standing in front of it, there's going to be a tunnel that goes through there, and you're going to need Stanley Steamer to come in and clean the shit off your house and floor. Shotgun, going to spend a little more time with it. When you spend a little more time with it, it can become a very efficient tool for you. So that's something I would consider. Thank you.
It's a pretty rough ride if you're on the wrong side of the big hole, but everything else upstream takes a pretty hard beating too. And I'm not just talking about the shooter, but the shotgun itself takes a lot of abuse, along with everything else that you've strapped on it. Today is episode 1 of the Benelli M4 Burndown, and I say episode 1 because we had a catastrophic failure only 100 rounds into the review thereabout. But this is through no fault of the Benelli at all. I'm gonna go ahead, head that off at the pass right now because I know 90% of you just look at the title or the thumbnail or whatever, or the first 7 seconds of the video, and then fire off a pissed off comment. I will tell you whose fault this is. And I bet you know already because it's the same zany character who's up to it yet again, that pesky United States government making it impossible to import the M4 with a collapsible stock and a capacity of more than 5 rounds. I'm a goddamn lawyer and I don't understand it, but Freedom Fighter Tactical has some videos on YouTube explaining why we can't get the spaghetti shotgun we all want and deserve as it comes from the factory. So you pay $2 grand for a neutered gun, and it's next to impossible to get factory accessories for the M4 stateside, meaning you have to resort to back alley, fly-by-night, third-party manufacturers selling their wares out of their trench coats to get the options that you want from the factory to begin with for your shotgun now. The Benelli M4 is arguably one of the best shotguns ever made, even though it's only about 25 years old, it's still top of the class. Look, I'm not worried about the Benelli M4 passing a TFBTV Burndown, but boy oh boy does the TFBTV torture test ever take all of your third-party accessories and pin their ankles behind their heads. We've lost a rear sight, we've lost a flashlight mount. Oh shit. Oh! No. It happened! UTG, who would have known? We've killed an HK sling clip. Let's see, what happened here? We've knocked a brand new Burris Fastfire 4 off of 0, and we've literally killed a handful of Turkish shotguns. We've not had one single Turkish shotgun, pump, or semi-automatic survive the 500 round Burndown yet. People really don't understand how brutal and violent just a few hundred rounds through a shotgun can be until you witness the TFBTV BD. The M4 was the undisputed king of semi-automatic 12 gauge shotguns 10 years ago, but now competition's getting fierce. The Beretta 1301 Tactical, the Mossberg 940 Tactical, the Beretta A300 Patrol, all amazing options with different pros and cons. The 1301 is a lighter, better handling shotgun, much better ergonomics than the M4. Then Mossberg 940 Tactical, it's fast shooting, it's got a micro red dot optic cut from the factory, it's reliable, well built, it costs half as much as an M4. Speaking of price, perhaps the cheapest one of the bunch is the US-made Beretta A300 Patrol. It's a little slower and a little heavier than the 1301, but it's got the same great ergos, and it even has a better, cleaner, beveled, and easy-to-stuff loading port. Dollar for dollar, the A300 really hard to beat. The M4's got a crappy loading port, trash tier bolt release, plus it's heavy, and in my opinion, it feels slower than the 1301.
Stand by, ready, shoot! That's good though. That's good, man.
Not to mention it's insanely expensive. And as I've bitched about already, factory accessories next to impossible to get. I want the M1014 configuration of this shotgun used by the US military and elite units around the world like the British SAS. It's full potential. Collapsing stock, shot tube extension, but good luck finding the guns or finding the parts. As badass of a tactical shotgun as the M4 is, this is the only shotgun I've mentioned in this video that doesn't come with an extended shot tube or the ability to mount a light or a quick disconnect sling swivel right out of the box. So I buy a metal stick that lets me collapse the stock for $300 on pre-order and it shows up a few months later. I couldn't find a Benelli extended shot tube at the time, like 3 years ago, so I spent $250 on a Briley carbon fiber shot tube. I wanted to mount a light, so I ditched the shitty factory plastic handguard, and I get a lightweight handguard with M-LOK from Strike Industries. That's another $150. So $2,000 for a shotgun and an extra $700 to make it almost, but not quite as good as the less expensive competition. Now I gotta say, my Benelli M4 is below 8 pounds when used in conjunction with that carbon fiber tube and the Strike handguard. Pretty light for an M4, but there are literally better bolt releases on Turkish shotguns than the Benelli M4, which is one of the worst bolt releases, just this tiny little button. So there's another expense. There's an inexpensive and easy to install accessory that I just call the Bubba Stick. It's simply a bent piece of sheet metal that goes behind the handguard retention plate, and it sits on top of the bolt release button. And it's cheap, or I guess expensive depending on how you look at it. It's only $30, but it's only a bent piece of license plate. I took all these accessories along with the shotgun to my local gunsmith who put it all together for me, and there it sat, probably for a year, totally unfired, while I tested all these other new shotguns for you. I mean, guys, the Benelli's been out for a while. There's tons of videos on it. Wasn't really a priority for me. It could wait until today. I brought the M4 with the usual hodgepodge medley of 12 gauge rounds to the range. Old ammo, new ammo, 3-inch, 2 3/4-inch, bird, buck, slug, you name it. Low brass, high brass, just okay brass. We brought it out to run. Coincidentally, we didn't make it through the first goddamn tube without an issue. Oh, look at that. It's not the shotgun's fault. First tube. Ripped the rim right off with that bio ammo. Uh-oh, that's not what you want to see. Oh no. That's right, it looks like the Benelli was ripping the rims off of the bio ammo. Bio ammo is a non-toxic, biodegradable ammo that I like using at the range. There it is again. Mother. Because I don't have to worry about slinging around a bunch of lead, or if a couple of holes get left behind in the woods because they're allegedly biodegradable, but Lindsay put a couple of them in her compost pile behind the house for like a year. She just pulled them out a few weeks ago. They still look like new, so that's probably bullshit. But it seems like the Benelli was yanking the entire brass head off of the birdshot. Probably an ammo-related issue with bio ammo, even though it's never happened before with that stuff to me. No one's going to be running biodegradable birdshot through this thing for defensive purposes anyways, so no biggie, I don't care about this. We then ran buckshot and some Magnum birdshot and some slugs. Really, these normally brutal loadings reminded me of how well the M4 handles recoil. Maybe it's the weight in conjunction with the dual piston Argo gas operating system, but it probably has the least felt recoil of any semi-automatic shotgun I've reviewed for TFBTV. Golly. I gotta tell you, man, that's one area where you have to give it to the M4. It's amazing how little recoil you have, even with, that was just Bellum buckshot, which is some of the hardest shit that there is. And it just took it like it was nothing. Now we have 3-inch Magnum in here. It's number 4 bird, but it's still gonna be pretty potent stuff. God. Yeah, that's no joke. The M4 really is incredible. Another interesting thing about that, low recoiling tactical shotguns translate to reliability, but sometimes only with buckshot and slugs. but we ran APPAREL competition rounds through the M4, which are some of the most pussified gamer shotgun rounds I've ever used. So now we've got APPAREL competition, which is super duper lightweight stuff. A problem often with gas operated shotguns is the fact that they sometimes will not cycle very light rounds. I wouldn't hold it against it. This isn't an effing competition gun. This is a personal defense shotgun. But it still ran that, no problem. The M4 had no issue with these whatsoever. I'm gonna say it again, the TFBTV torture test, tough on guns, shooters, and accessories, especially when senior TFBTV camera guy, Iron Mike Ryan, starts donkey punching the bolt release every time he reloads. I'm not saying that your bolt release should break if you're constantly bashing it with your fist every time you reload. In fact, it probably should be able to withstand some rough handling, but the Bubba stick did not. Ryan Balboa speed bagged the Bubba stick into submission until it split and broke off.
No, it's just how I always do it.
No, I know, but I mean, there's no reason you just use your thumb. You don't have to break shit. I mean, it's fine. Like, it's good to know because people actually buy this. I'm going to mention it.
My partner in crime, Ryan, aka Ike Turner, likes to just mash the bolt release for some reason. So he breaks off my Bubba stick over there. You know, that little piece of sheet metal. I'm picking on Ryan a little bit, but at the end of the day, I think this boils down to the makeshift bolt release lever just being kind of shitty. Speaking of, it was only a few rounds later when the Strike Industries handguard comes clean off. This is the Strike Industries handguard for the Benelli M4. This thing is effed. Like, it is, here, I'll take it off real quick, but look at this. When I looked at the underside of the handguard where it interfaced with the retention plate, it appeared as if my gunsmith performed some Alabama artisanal gunsmithing with a Dremel to force the handguard to fit. Yeah, look at that. It eventually came loose and it brought the entire handguard retention plate with it. And the handguard retention plate, which is steel, mind you, got bashed into submission by the gas piston to the point where I couldn't bend it back with a hammer, meaning that the handguard couldn't go back on, meaning that this was a catastrophic failure, meaning video over. Yeah, so we're gonna go ahead and discontinue the test for today. I also have to mention that the carbon fiber shot tube worked itself very loose during the course of testing, which almost certainly played a part in the handguard and retention plate coming loose too. I highly recommend Loctiting your shot tube on if you add one. It only took about a half twist before the tube spring shot out like a can of snakes and we had to go on a scavenger hunt in the woods to find it. And there it goes. And you can see right here, this little flange. Look at that. I think that's from the gas piston. So these holes are where the pistons operate. I think the piston just beat this thing into oblivion. I've got to emphasize, the shotgun itself performed flawlessly. The failure here was caused either by poor installation of the handguard, by my mentally disabled gunsmith, that's the primary culprit, or a poor mounting system for the Strike Industries handguard, or the shot tube working itself loose and allowing there to be play between the handguard and the retention plate, which interfered with the pistons. So, pretty disappointing end already to the Benelli M4 torture test. It is not the shotgun's fault. We did have a couple of problems with ammo being having the rims actually ripped off of the shotgun shells. That's not the shotgun's fault. Then we also have, this is the Strike Industries handguard. I'm not blaming Strike because I'm not going to name any names, but I know you guys are watching. Whoever installed this, you can see, looks like it was like a Dremel job. You guys can blame Strike, or you can blame, more likely, the gunsmith, blame whoever you like. And while we're on the issue of the shot tube, it could be the follower, it could be the carbon fiber material, but I found that shot tube extremely difficult to load with my other strong side thumb, so I had to start reloading with my right hand thumb instead. Kind of weird and super disappointing. Fucking damn it, this shit. We have replacement parts on the way. We're gonna finish this test, by God. But the main takeaway here is just like Uncle Clint says about Glocks. They work great until you start screwing with them and adding sus third-party accessories. The difference is when you buy a Glock, you're getting something that's full capacity, easily accessorizable out of the box. Not so with the Benelli M4 because of these stupid laws. It comes neutered from the factory, and if you want to have a normal capacity, the ability to mount popular accessories, and a functioning collapsible stock, you have to source your own parts, either OEM Benelli for an arm and a leg or third-party manufacturers. But if you go third-party, then you run into what I ran into with this video, and that is sometimes it's a pile of crap. We're gonna fix this gun, we're gonna give the test another try, and then hopefully show you the firepower of this fully armed and operational battle station. Ventura Munitions out of Las Vegas, best ammo store in the world. Also, Top Gun Supply, your online shooting sports superstore. Thank you so much for your support. These guys give away like $1,200 worth of gift certificates to our Utreon and Subscribe Star supporters every single month. So make sure you're subscribed at the $5 level or higher if you want to enter. Guys, thanks again for watching. Take care.